Hello and welcome to Booking the Bricks. My name is Jonah and today I would like to be talking about LEGO Wednesday. I'm a huge fan of the Wednesday series, but was slightly disappointed that we only got one set with mini dolls in the initial wave. So in today's video, I'd like to reimagine what that first wave may have looked like if we had gotten more play scale sets with mini dolls that could be from different parts of the series, reflecting the different sets and locations other than Ophelia Hall. Let's get to it. The first step in the process for me was to write out the list of sets that I was interested in. I included the first one, Ophelia Hall, the one we did get, of their dormitories. The next one I thought of was the Weather Vane, which is that coffee shop from the city of Jericho. The next two I thought of were the Quad and Nevermore Academy, which could possibly expand on Ophelia Hall and Nevermore Academy as a whole into a Harry Potter-like modular system, and then the Raven Dance, which could be an extra pack of sorts that you could put inside of Nevermore Academy. Now, the first one, Ophelia Hall, is its own LEGO set that was already released. Now, I am a huge fan of this LEGO set. It has some really nice build process and has tons of packed details and references for fans of the show, and some amazing mini dolls, including both Wednesday and Enid in both their school forms and in their Raven Dance forms, which are cleverly hidden in compartments underneath the build itself. It makes for a great piece, and I really enjoyed this set. Now on to my second idea for a set, which was the Weather Vane, the coffee shop. Now, in the series itself, this set piece is several stories tall, but I opted for something more single story, much like other Friends LEGO sets that have a much more open style with room in the back for play space. So I wanted to include at least one booth and the coffee counter where Tyler could do his coffee things. Now, for the third idea, the Quad, which is kind of like a student meeting space, for lack of a better term, and is a courtyard of sorts, and in true LEGO style, you probably wouldn't get the whole courtyard, and I thought it could include these archways for the courtyard, at least maybe like a picnic bench, and then this tree fountain kind of thingy in the middle. And then for that one, I thought the modular part could come in, that Ophelia Hall could sit on top of one of those sections, so that they kind of slotted together and started to make a fuller picture of Nevermore Academy. Now, that seems like rather a large footprint, so this would probably be the biggest set in the wave, and I can see inside they would have like probably some walkway room underneath the arches and stuff, and then here you could have a classroom or some other part of, maybe this is where that Raven Dance set I kind of want to make might go, and then the Nightshade Library, I thought, with the Edgar Allan Poe statue could be a cool addition to the other section. Now for the fourth set, I feel like this is a little bit more of a traditional Gothic style that is definitely featured in the first couple of episodes of the first season, and this could definitely be the Addams Family heavy set, and could probably include the family car that she gets dropped off in, and characters like Morticia, Gomez, Pugsley, and Lurch. And in this set, you would also have maybe this is where the classroom would be on the first floor, and then up in the next one you could have Weems's office, Principal Weems's office, which I feel like is portrayed quite a bit in the first season. And then this could connect onto the back of the Quad and Ophelia Hall to kind of further that out. Kind of like there you've definitely got the starting of a Nevermore Academy, and maybe in this idea with season 2 sets, you finished out the Quad and got other sections. But I'm not sure, since that's not what they did, but just in a dream world what we could have gotten. And then my last one, which would probably be like a smaller $20 set, could include like 2 tables from the Raven Dance, their equivalent of Homecoming, a DJ stand, the giant ice sculpture, Yeti sculpture in the back, and my disco ball. Definitely pardon my my rough drawing, my rough sketching, but I just wanted to try and create a little bit of an idea of what I was going for before I started on the next step, physically building things. So initially I was intent on trying to create all of these sets, but I kind of ran out of time, and so I only got to create one, the Weather Vane. Now, compared to my original sketch, I feel like I did a really nice job with this. I also tried to reference pictures of the set from the show to try and make sure I got details and colorings right. I'm really proud of how I got some of these details right, and I think overall the exterior looks really cool and definitely reminds me of some of these Friends sets that you might see in other waves. Now for the interior, I did get my booth in with its coffee cups and all its stuff. And then I did get my coffee counter in with like some push syrups and a tip jar where Thing can leave Wednesday's Raven invitation for Tyler in there. And then I also have the coffee maker that Wednesday fixes for Tyler on the first time she comes into the coffee shop. And then I also noticed that in the Ophelia Hall Lego set, there was attention to lighting details. Both Wednesday and Enid on their sides of the dormitory had lighting, so I just added this really cool fan to kind of continue that idea. And overall, I'm really happy with how this mock turned out, and I think that it probably looks like a Lego set. Although it's not the most detailed it could have been, I feel like it's a good mock-up of what we might have gotten in a Lego set if you were to, say, buy this in a real wave. But that was just kind of the feeling I was trying to go for. My third and final step when I was imagining this wave of Wednesday sets was to create mini dolls. So I would imagine in the weather vein, you probably would get Wednesday in either her school uniform or in her hoodie that we see in the upcoming Wednesday set on August 1st. And I also would imagine you would get Tyler in some sort of weather vane outfit. And then just to throw in an extra minifigure, I thought it would be fun to make Principal Weems to go in there. And although I didn't get around to making the other sets, I could not help myself when I was trying to create minifigures that would reflect the Nevermore student uniforms. Although we get Wednesday in her black and white uniform, I was really interested in trying to make it so that I had some other uniforms in that purple and black striped color scheme. So to do so, I painted minifigures, or mini dolls, which was a lot of fun, but also a little bit more challenging than I could have anticipated. I had to make sure that the paints were able to stick to the minifigures and that the colors lined up, and initially my purple was too dark, so I had to try and lighten it up a bit so that you could see the black lines of the Sharpie. And I ended up creating several uniforms, enough so that I could have Enid in her Nevermore uniform, Bianca, the siren, in her Nevermore uniform, and then one for Xavier in his Nevermore uniform, and another for Ajax, also in his Nevermore uniform. And I didn't have the widest selection of mini doll heads to work with, so I feel that Lego could definitely have made something a little bit more accurate, but I was really proud of how these guys turned out with some very minimal painting. But overall, I'm really proud of how my Wednesday stuff turned out, and I can't wait to see how both the TV show and the Lego theme develops for the future as we get our second season, end of the summer, and possibly a third season. Thank you for tuning in today for my Lego Wednesday rant. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe to show your support. Thank you.